I'd like you to do me a favor, and if you would, look up live streams of the moon. And if you do that, there's a very high likelihood, as of the filming of this, that there isn't one. You could look up NASA live streams of the moon. You could ask AI to find you live streams of the moon, and they will be somewhat disingenuous and tell you that there are, or that you can find them on YouTube. But you can't. So I encourage you to point your camera, aided by some magnification, at the moon and record at your leisure. The other night, during what was supposed to be the most spectacular night of the Perseid meteor shower, I took PVS 14 and attached it to my spotting scope and pointed up at the sky, and these are a few images of that night. What you just saw here was a jet. I don't believe it was a commercial jet, but it was certainly a jet. And it was flying around at its normal cruising altitude, whatever that may be. But you saw it, and so did I. We'll get more into that. A little later that same night, a prop plane, meaning a plane with a propeller, flew by at its normal cruising altitude, whatever that may be, and I filmed it and I recorded it. Now, each of these, the jet and the prop plane, have their own normal cruising altitudes. What I didn't manage to get was a commercial airliner, though they do fly overhead and they leave a wake of noise, as you can imagine. The previous jet and this prop plane have their own associated noises, each of which are all very common and easily identifiable. Now, for the bulk of this video, what you'll see is movement in the sky as captured by my PVS 14. All of these small glowing dots of movement, for most folks, as well as for all of the folks in my immediate circle, could be easily explained as a satellite. Now, I don't doubt that that's some of what was captured here. As a matter of fact, it may be all of what is captured here. However, what's a little bit more difficult to discern, and what might be a little bit more difficult to wrap one's head around, is that I'm staring through, for most folks that are familiar with night vision and PVS 14s, is a 40-degree window. For those of you unfamiliar with what that might look like, imagine making a circle with your thumb and pointer finger, like the OK symbol, and holding that up into the sky. That's very similar to the viewing window through which I am looking. What you'll find for the bulk of this video is that anywhere I pointed into the sky, there was movement. There was something there. It was faint or invisible to the naked eye, but to a PVS 14, to an image intensifier, it's easily detected. And you see them everywhere. These little dots. Now, what makes me believe that these are satellites is that they're following a single continuous arc through the sky, meaning they're not taking any very sharp turns. They're not maneuvering, so to speak. But they're everywhere. Numerous. So, if that is the case, that means that anywhere you look up into the sky and you point your little OK symbol or your little aperture, there's a high likelihood that something is zooming through that small window. These aren't commercial airliners, because as I've said, commercial airliners have their own lights that they signal to other airliners and certainly to people on the ground that they are there. Not only that, they have a telltale hum of their jet that you can hear from the ground at cruising altitudes. Now, I'm not located in a major metropolitan hub. Let's just put it that way. And so, whatever your rationale of choice may be, whatever your explanation would be for me or for yourself, it's valid. I don't discount it. I agree that whatever you think it might be, it might be. It may very well be the truth. But what I'm asking here for is just a slow, very simple consideration that, given all recent circumstances, what if it's not any of those things? Are we then allowed to opine and give out an idea as to what we think it might be? I don't know. It's something to think about as we continue to observe things together. As I said earlier, this was the night that the Perseid meteor shower was supposed to be at its most glorious. I've had an opportunity to sit through the Perseids on a very clear night, which this, for the most part, was. But meteors, as seen through night vision, are very transient, meaning they tend to streak across the sky almost instantaneously, like little flashpoints, streaks. They are very rapid. I don't believe I'd be able to capture any of their movements through the sky like I am able to follow here each of these little pinpoints of light. In this case, I was trying to zoom in as close as I could, but as you know, the higher the magnification, the more difficult it is to keep an object in your field of view. So I instead opted to give myself the largest viewing area in order to capture the highest amount of objects. And as you'll see, and as you may have noticed, it wasn't always an isolated object so much as it was a pair of objects, or in one case, which you'll see, 3 separate objects all moving in various directions relative to one another. Whether or not all of these are at the same altitude, or one is larger and further away, and one is smaller and closer, giving them the same relative appearance, I have no idea. These are just things to look at and observe and wonder about. Now, I know some of you may have tuned out and said, you know, this guy's loony, another conspiracy theorist, someone who's drunk the Kool-Aid. But at no other time in my recent memory, which goes back further than many of you watching now, has these sorts of ideas been so widely given credence. Maybe not accepted, but at least something to think more so on than simply dismiss out of hand. And for what it's worth, curious to the human condition, we will often see something for the first time and then simply accept it as if it had always been. How many of you have seen images like this regularly? I can raise my hand. If you can't raise yours, and this is the first time you're seeing things like this, imagine what might the sky look like tonight where you are at. Imagine what might be passing through your skies. Does it look like this? Has it always looked like this? Has it looked like this prior to the information age? That's a conspiracy for you. Now, if you've watched this far, and you'll bear with me for just a few more moments, towards the end of this video, there is a pair of videos, each recorded independently, but on the same night. They were not filmed through night vision, but rather were simply filmed through the lens of a phone, a modern smartphone. And unlike myself looking up at the stars through night vision alone, without anyone else to corroborate, the videos that I'm talking about and that you will soon see are coincidentally observed by a group of individuals. All of these folks are gainfully employed. They're all owners of property, men of propriety, upstanding contributors to society. And to a man, all of us were perplexed by what we saw. We all had explanations for what we saw. We were all very much accepting of what we saw. But I'm not so sure that everyone who sees it has the same ability to just simply explain it away. And it's the explaining away of these things that makes me question whether or not we're ready for something more than what we know.
I'm getting static in my ear probe.
What?
Whoa.
Oh
What
shit!
the fuck, bro?
Nice.
Yo.
Dude, what the fuck is that?
I am
Capsule
amazed.
separation, I think.
What?
No, that's close though. That's really close.
You saw that, right? You're
I
seeing
can
this-
still
Dude,
see
I have
it.
this on
I'm
video.
filming it.
You could see it on your phone too, bro.
Is this like satellite reentry? But it looks
It
close.
could be capsule separation from like SpaceX. I saw that in Rock Springs one time. But at the same time, it wasn't moving like this. This is fast, and this looks a lot closer. Like possibly in the atmosphere still.
Dude. What the fuck?
It's moving quick too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's moving real quick. It was just on the other side of the horizon.
Whoa, now it's gone.
No, it's still there. I can still see it.
I see it. It's right there.
I can't see it anymore.
Let me drop my nods.
I can still see it.
Yeah. Okay. Now, okay, I'm still
I
tracking.
can see it really clearly with my night
It's like a
vision
little
stuff.
apparition, and it's gone.
No, I still see it
still see
barely
something?
though in the nods. Now I lost it.
Yeah. What the fuck, bro?
Dude, I got it on video.
So did I.
Yo,
getting a
that was
video.
Crazy. What
it's
the
still moving.
fuck?
What the fuck is that?
What?
What? Hey, somebody film that shit.
I am. Yeah.
Very orb-like to me. You see how it's all like obscured? Well, through my nods, it's kind of
Just
obscured.
moves out.
Yo, what am I looking at, bro? I'm getting static in my my ear pro.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Oh,
What the fuck, bro?
Nice.
Yo,
Dude, what the fuck is that?
I am
Capsule
amazed.
separation, I think.
What?
No, that's close though. That's really close.
You saw that, right? You're seeing this.
Dude, I have this on video.
You could see it on your phone too, bro.
Is this like satellite reentry? But it looks
It could be
close.
Capsule separation from like SpaceX. I saw that in Rock Springs one time. But at the same time, it wasn't moving like this. This is fast, and this looks a lot closer. Like possibly in the atmosphere still.
Dude.
It's moving quick too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's moving real quick. It was just on the other side of the horizon.
Whoa, now it's gone.
No, it's still there.
Like you,
I see it. It's right there.
I can't see it anymore.
Let me drop my nods.
I can still see it.
Yeah. Okay. Now, okay, I'm still
I can
tracking
see
a
it really
bit.
clearly with my
It's
night
like a
vision
little
stuff.
apparition, and it's gone.
No, I still see it.
You still see
barely,
something?
though, in the nods. Now I lost it.
Yeah. What the fuck, bro?
Dude, I got it on video.
So did I.
I got that whole thing, dude.
Holy shit.
That was neat.
I wish I had my